2, 1. And we are streaming. Now let me see if we're getting the feed out to the world, my brother. And we are streaming. Now let me see if we're getting the feed out to the world, my brother. And we are good.
All right.
We are getting the feed out to the world, my brother. Get rid of that. There we go. Perfect, man. So, yeah.
Tim Black.
And
Tim Black.
That works. Okay, then let me check on YouTube. I see people in YouTube world. I see him out there in the YouTube world, HA. Hey, HA, could you say hello to make sure people can hear you?
Tim Black.
All right. Yes. We're getting love already, man. They hear
Truth
us.
can't be silenced.
There it is, man. Exactly. Truth in Bethlehem. I see some of my folks, man. It's all great, man. All right, guys. You know what time it is. It's Monday. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and this means it's time for No Sellouts. I'd like to give it up for my man, my right-hand man, H.A. Goodman.
Tim Black.
Bam, what's up, brother? What's going on?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm going to vote for Senator Kamala Harris in 2020.
Perfect.
She's going to win. She's going to carry the mantle of Hillary Clinton. It's like you know the expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yeah.
The Democrats, if it's broke, never fix it. They change it to, if it is broke, never ever fix it.
That's
never,
right. As long as it gives them money so that they won't be broke, don't fix it.
That's true. That's actually a better way to look at it than I was.
That money. Yeah, it works both ways, man, because they're corrupt. So I just wanted, I didn't know that you were up to speed on Kamala Harris, man, because I just started digging into her background a little bit.
Well, aside from the fact, very establishment candidate, she was a prosecutor, the California Attorney General, but a prosecutor in San Francisco. But she went to the Hamptons, where all the working class people are.
Yeah, man, all this middle class, lower middle class, poor people living under the poverty line, they love hanging out in the Hamptons, bro. That's the destination spot for poor people.
Yeah. The people that the Democratic Party is going to represent, the defend in the Hamptons. So she went and she met with all the top Clinton donors who apparently have money to burn. These people are so rich, they just want to burn their money. If you bet on something and you lost a lot of money, would you go back? So these donors are Clinton donors. Senator Kamala Harris will be beholden to Hillary Clinton's donors. Really, Clinton didn't stand for anything because Clinton didn't stand. I have to back off the mic. Someone says because it's being distorted. Okay, so Clinton didn't stand for anything because the money that she acquired, it was just so much money from so many different interests that you can't go ahead. You can't possibly stand for breaking the banks or banning fracking,
right,
or ending perpetual counterinsurgency wars in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Senator Kamala Harris?
Dude, my thing with Kamala Harris, besides all the people, because I've had some liberals, tweet me about Kamala Harris on Twitter, like, hey, she's great. Kamala Harris is a fighter. That's because they are being distracted by this Jeff Sessions back and forth that she had. That was supposed to be monumental. And that's not enough for me because, see, I happen to know that when she was Attorney General, H.A. Goodman, she had an opportunity to prosecute One West Bank. One West Bank was CEO was Steve Mnuchin. And
right.
In an Intercept article, and also our friend Michael Signato over at the Observer, they were found. One West Bank was found to have over 1,000 foreclosure frauds, right? So improper foreclosures. So an improper foreclosure is when people lose their fucking homes who shouldn't have lost their homes.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1,000. And for some reason, Kamala Harris, who was the Attorney General, decided not to prosecute Steve Mnuchin. And what she said What she said when because people ask, like, why aren't you prosecuting this guy? These people lost their homes. They lost their livelihoods. Why aren't you prosecuting them if you've already found there's over 1,000 cases of fraudulent foreclosures? She said, we went and we followed the facts and the evidence, and this is a decision my office made.
Mm-hmm.
So you see there, the wording of that, the way she stated that, as if she wasn't in control. Like, that's just, we just came up with it. We all decided. No, Kamala, you were the head attorney general. You were in charge. I wanted to say something else, but you were the attorney general. And you decided. And your lame excuse of, well, we did our best, that's not good enough. If you already found that there's over 1,000 violations, and you don't act on that because this man is rich, and we all know that's true, then we find out he gave to your campaign 2-3 years prior to that. That's another caveat, guys. Yeah, she took money from this guy. She did not recuse herself from the case, and the guy gets off. And now she goes up and she gives Jeff Sessions a hard time. And frankly, I think anyone can give Jeff Sessions a hard time, because Jeff Sessions, to me, is old, stuck in his ways, old Southern dude, that if you get him riled up too much, he wants to say some stuff, but he can't. Yeah. So he starts fumbling with the words, like he wants to say, get back on the back of the bus, darky, but he can't say that. So it comes out, he starts to have a conniption fit. So that doesn't impress me that you're able to get Jeff Sessions flustered. In fact, what did that accomplish? He's still our attorney general now. So what did you accomplish with that? So these people who are enamored, H.A., with the guise, with the perception of someone who's fighting for the people, but when they're given an opportunity to really fight for the people, they choose to side with the establishment. These people are not leaders to me. And if the Democrats are stupid enough to think just because she's a woman, just because she has a tan, that all of a sudden we're all going to fall in line, well, they got another thing coming, AJ, because I'm not going to fall in line, and I'm going to take as many people away from her as possible if she won't get shit done for the people.
She had a chance, and it's Steve Mnuchin. She had a chance, and like you said, and I have the Intercept article here. The quote was, "It's a decision my office made." What the F does that mean?
That means they know better than you, H.A. That's what it means. They know better than us. That's their decision. We made that decision. You entrust us to make decisions, and we made a decision in the best interest of our decisions.
You know what else I don't like? What Harris said? We pursued it just like any other case. We go and we take a case wherever the facts lead us. Oh, okay. So the 1,000 violations of foreclosure laws, that's, I guess, Tim, that doesn't mean anything. I guess that's just normal in this day and age.
H.A., I wonder if, I don't know, I had Clifford Spud Johnson on my show a week ago or so, and he was a first-time drug offender, nonviolent drug offender. Conspiracy, never was caught with drugs. Most of our people in jail for nonviolent drug offenses never were caught with drugs. Just someone said they think they had drugs at one point. I wonder if Kamala Harris would have gave him a pass. Like when she was prosecutor, if she would have gave him a pass with 1,000, I don't know, situations or whatever, 1,000, I don't know, grams of weed or whatever. Like, I wonder if she would have been as, charitable and just said, our office did what we could do, Spud, but we decided, we couldn't prosecute you, Spud. But no, we know that's not true, because Kamala never met a defendant she didn't want to lock up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the Democrats are like, oh, well, she's a prosecutor, so Republicans will like her and conservatives will like her, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Because also there was an issue where she failed to prosecute, I think, someone who killed a cop. I have to look, I think, yeah. So, or she failed to, let me get, but I'm actually thinking of right now, Cory Booker and Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. And Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump actually raised funds for Cory Booker, Senator Cory Booker.
Yeah. But you're right about that. About the she did not prosecute someone who shot a cop or something. Like, I think they wanted the death penalty. It's something. Yeah.
I'm sorry, they didn't pursue the death. I'm sorry, she didn't pursue the death penalty, and that alone is going to be the one thing that conservatives focus on.
But dude, what you just said, what you said is on point like hell, H.A. you said the conservatives are looking for something. The conservatives wanted to see that she will, follow suit. Like she will stand up for ideals that matter to them, which was be law enforcement, right? That's why they like the fact she's a prosecutor. Well, since that's the case, HA, don't you think the liberals are supposed to stand up for their own ideals? And since she was a prosecutor, that would sort of vacate any opportunity of her getting support from liberals, because liberals are like contrary. We fight for civil justice. We want reform in our prison systems, right? So since we're on the opposite end of the spectrum, shouldn't we fight for our ethics?
Well, I said in one of my videos today, I said there's a black woman who can defeat Trump. Her name is Nina Turner. And but they don't. But the DNC wouldn't even allow her to speak at the convention because she is so truthful, and she is just the epitome of liberal progressive values. They don't want that. Yeah. They want somebody who the people at the Hamptons will be cool with. And that's not, if Trump isn't changing, he's not draining the swamp. He's not transforming everything, but he's given the middle finger to media. See, he's kind of like, he's given the middle finger to media, and he's not transforming. He's not draining the swamp. It's a different swamp, same creatures, but he has the image. He has the image of changing things to conservatives and independents. And he has an image of autonomy, even though, like, people think he's crazy. He's going to win again in 2020 if it's not the antithesis of Trump. I kept saying that throughout 2016. You have to have the opposite. Right. You can't have, we have a prosecutor who's part of the establishment, and that's not going to work out. Who will exactly take Hillary Clinton's foreign policy. Well, I can't imagine Kamala Harris doing anything different than Hillary Clinton in terms of foreign policy. I can't, because those donors are concerned with foreign policy and Wall Street. Those are the two biggest issues for those. They don't give a crap about banning fracking, or they'll laugh at anybody who wants to break up banks or really transform things. But if people want transformative policies, they want change. They want true change. And that's what Trump offers a lot of people. I'm not saying that he is changing things. I'm saying that he's given the middle finger to a lot of different establishments, media, political. Right. And that's enough for people to get out to vote for him. His side's going to be very amped up.
Oh man, they've solidified his side. They've created his side more by attacking him on frivolous BS. That did nothing but, so now they can't be objective. Like, they can't look at it and go, okay, because now this idea that the Democrats and the establishment are all piling on Trump is right there in their face. So they're going to discount everything he's done that they don't agree with. In fact, they might even recognize what he hasn't done or what he did do that was contrary to what he ran on, because they're too busy looking at him get beat up on every Sunday and every Saturday and on every broadcast. So they've actually created the perfect storm for Trump. And also, I think they wrongly believe that America's going to go back to sleep and want the establishment again. I don't think America's going to want the establishment again. I believe they're beyond that. They're going to want an anti-establishment candidate again. And if you don't have one that can compete with Trump in the areas of being detached from the bullshit, then they will go ahead and take Trump again, because they're not going to have 100 choices.
No. And also, I've spoken to very intelligent people, and a lot of my friends will always vote Democrat no matter what, even though they understand the Democratic Party is corrupt. But they tell me, can you believe that these Republicans, these conservative voters are going to lose their health care? Oh my God, they're going to be so upset with Trump. And I'm trying to tell them, they don't care. They don't care. That's not what, even if they do lose health care, they'll just buy insurance, or they're not, or they're pro-life, or they're Second Amendment, or they're independent and they hate the media, and they hate the political discourse that's going on, and they just also want to screw the establishment. There's a million reasons to vote for Trump that people don't understand.
Right.
And then when they say, oh, well, the favorability ratings, I was talking about favorability ratings in 2015, and I was explaining something that he can get away with low favorability. That's, and Democrats have the same low favorability ratings. So even if Kamala Harris obviously is more popular, she's a Democrat, establishment Democrat.
Right. She's more popular amongst Democrats. She's not more popular nationally.
Do you want to laugh at something?
Sure.
You want to laugh at something?
Please.
Do you want to know what President Obama got in trouble for? Which is it is true what he said. It is very true. He said that Kamala Harris was the best looking attorney general in the country. Okay?
Oh man, he reduced her to being a woman.
so and she's very attractive. Okay, she's very attractive, but he got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
He got in trouble
for calling her attractive.
And so he got in trouble. So he had to I think he had to apologize or something. But that's the state of. See, if we go ahead and accidentally bomb a hospital in Afghanistan, we're like, oh well, But if you call Kamala Harris beautiful or attractive, you must apologize right then and there. That's very bad.
That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to do. What are you doing having eyesight?
Exactly.
What you doing seeing people and stuff and complimenting them? You know better. You're supposed to call her, you look intelligent. That's what you're supposed to say.
That's it. And just run away after that.
Get away as far as possible.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to throw this in because I'm so damn proud of it. Today, well, let me first start on this note. Today is the 3rd year anniversary of the death of Eric Garner. And I've been covering that story since day one, okay? I've been on it. You check my channel. I've done, 10 videos on that, on Eric Garner, and also many other deaths by cop. So Erica Garner is his daughter, and I noticed she was tweeting about it today, and I responded to her tweet, and I let her know I was still in her corner, and I'm going to continue to speak out on it. And her response to me, HA, made my week, frankly, brother, because she said, Tim, I know you've been in my corner. Me specifically, I know you've been in my corner, and not only does the family appreciate it, but we appreciate all that you do for the movement. And it just reminded me, my work is not about, my work is important, and people, I'm touching lives, and I'm helping people, and I'm doing my, I'm doing my best to do so. And it just felt good to get that recognition from her on such a somber, moment, of course. We're talking about the death of her father, but that she knows that I've been in this fight for 3 years plus at least. And she knows that. And she's been following me on Twitter. I've been following her. And I just wanted to put that out there for Erica Garner, that we won't stop speaking out. We'll do everything we can with what we have. And I know you wrote articles about Eric Garner. Isn't that true?
Yeah. Well, first I want to commend you, Tim, for everything that you do and for always, talking about when it happened and all throughout. Because I remember before you talked about politics, you were talking about everything from Chicago to Rahm Emanuel to police brutality to, everything. So everything you do is so important. And you bring such a unique, I would say, pure vantage point to everything. Because, you come in from the perspective of you see what should be there and what's right and what's wrong. You're amazing. But yeah, I wrote an article that the Huffington Post Black Voices editor gave me a big honor to write last year, and it was titled Eric Garner's only crime was indignation. He should be alive today. So,
absolutely.
And when you see what took place on that video, it was something. It was the only thing I can think of is Philando Castile, because you're seeing something that it's not right. It's not right. It's not right, and it can't be happening in front of you. And it's a murder. You're watching a murder in front of you, and just because the state sanctions it does not mean it's not a murder.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because just because the state does not have a monopoly on morality. In many ways, it's the opposite. But Eric Garner's his death is something that it changed the country in many ways, and it should have transformed how we look at violence and brutality in our country, because we saw him suffering. We saw him telling the police officers, "Hey, I can't breathe. I can't breathe." But then what I never understood also is, like, if you have the person on the ground, why put your knee? Why go ahead and continually, they're not moving.
Right.
So
yeah, particularly when you have a number of officers and one has them in the chokehold, the other has the neck in the back, and it just makes no sense. But, we haven't learned our lesson, because today, we have Justine Demond out of Minneapolis. This is weird. You brought up Philando Castile, same state, Minnesota. And she was shot coming out. She called the police about a noise she heard in the back, thought maybe, someone was getting harassed or brutalized or something. So she calls 911. She goes down to tell the cops to give her more information, because she called the police, and they shoot her.
Oh my God.
And kill her. And she's a white lady from Australia, 40 years old, about to get married, due to get married in a couple months to her husband, fiance. And maybe this will do it. Like, maybe, because if you're afraid of a 5'5" white lady in a pair of pajamas and a t-shirt, I guess maybe you shouldn't be a cop. And, like, maybe the rest of America will see that you don't have to be a bad person to be shot by a cop. Maybe they'll see that it can be anyone. So now if we cross that threshold of saying, okay, maybe we do need to take a look. Maybe it's not just the Eric Garners, big black guys like Tim Black, or even our kids like Tamir Rice wasn't enough. Like, people, that didn't shock them enough. It's like,
Trayvon Martin.
He looks like a black man, even though he's a black boy. He looks like a black man, so it's still scary. So now we're even scared of 40-year-old white women in their pajamas. So maybe now, maybe we get something done. It's horrible that it comes to that, H.A. That and I'd rather Justine Demond still be alive. And
it happened all throughout. All of this took place when people, like, when they say, look, Jeff Sessions racist and Trump's racist. Well, Eric Garner died under President Obama's administration. And also, when you have Eric Holder and you have Loretta Lynch, you have Attorney General under a Democratic White House, under President Obama's White House. You can look at Flint with Rick Snyder, Governor Rick Snyder, who said, like we talked about this last week, he said, I'm not worried about getting illegally, respond. He's not worried about anything. These people are not, when injustice is committed, the people who are committing the injustice are not worried whether they're protected by laws or protected by protocol or protected by the establishment. That's the thing. You need an anti-establishment, and Trump is the quote unquote anti-establishment. He's not anti-establishment. He is establishment, but his persona is anti-establishment. At least they have the persona on the right. We don't even have the persona. We don't even have a fake person that's anti-establishment. We have straight up establishment.
That's because it seems like the folks on the left, I don't even know what, dude. They're not the left. They're the middle. The people in the middle, because I don't even want to diss people. These are corporate sellouts, in my opinion. Okay,
you can say center right. I would even say center, somewhat to the right sometimes. Yeah,
yeah, right. It's like these people that are this gooey middle, this disgusting middle, that these people that's to the right, to the middle, whatever they are, these people, they do not have our best interests at heart. Until people wake up and realize that it doesn't matter what color it comes in, what orientation it comes in. If it doesn't have your best interests, it's no damn good for you. Until we can get all people, white people, Latino people, black people, to stand up to that, we're not going to have two parties. Like right now, we got one party. One fucking party. We need two. We need at least, I say we need 4 or 5 parties, but right now we only have one major party.
Well, I mean, if Jeff Sessions with the mandatory minimums and that's horrible. Right. But then who is standing up to him? Hillary Clinton.
Kamala Harris is. She's giving him a hard time. She yelled. She made him uncomfortable. That's enough, right? All we need to do is make people uncomfortable. That'll do something. That does something.
The funny thing is that was hilarious. I don't know, have you seen the exchange between both of them? It was two bureaucrats hiding behind bureaucracy. And she was like, I want this. He's like, well, I can't really give it to you because it was amusing. It was amusing. And it's like, I can't really give it to you because it was just kind of funny. But
it was like a scene of House of Thrones, man. It's acting.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah,
everybody's acting, man. Oh, here's ours, oh, hither. Do you know your line? Say your line. I'm supposed to look good here. I got that Steve Mnuchin money. Come on now.
Yes. 1,000 examples of foul play. And
actually, HA, I'm a little disappointed, man, because some of my, like I got a lot of different people that follow. I got some notable people that are Democrats, and I think they're getting a little skittish, bro. They're getting a little skittish about what I cover. I get the feeling they're getting a little skittish, man. Like they don't want me calling out the Joy Reids and the Rachel Maddows and, these other shills. They want me to, like it's fine to talk about Eric Garner, but they don't want me calling out these mouthpieces of the establishment.
If you're not calling out Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow, then you might as well just vote for Trump in 2020, because that's really these people. These people are completely delusional, and it's just unbelievable. They enjoy losing. They enjoy losing, and you know what it is? It's like this giant therapy session. It's a giant therapy session where people hug each other and they hug and they kiss and they say, "Are you okay? Yeah, Trump won. Are you okay? Well, it was Russia. It was Russia. Trump won." And it was the Bernie bros. It was the white, pasty Bernie bros like Tim Black. And so
where's my suntan lotion, baby? Could you bring my suntan lotion in, please?
It was the white Bernie bros like Tim Black. And they really think, and then Joy Reid had she blocks Assange, but I wrote in Counterpropa, she tweeted about Julian Assange over 10 times in a 2-year span. And a little over a 2-year span, but not just 10 times, like attacking him, going after. She did segments on her show, and it was just. Then she gets upset with him. I had one, believe it or not, Tim. I had one interaction on Twitter, a debate with her. This was in 2000 and maybe late 2015, before I became a Russian spy, and so I remember I think that I forgot exactly what the debate was about, but it was definitely about Bernie Sanders and why Clinton can't win. And then she ended the debate with, "I've had enough now. I'd like to end this." Something like that. And I was like, okay, fuck.
Right.
I'm not, but it's like, it's that mentality that if you hear something, anything close to Hillary Clinton is evil, you must stop discussion, or Hillary Clinton can't win.
Yeah, that happened to me on a podcast I was on. It was on a Huffington Post podcast, actually, with Arthur Delaney, who was really cool, man. Arthur Delaney, I forget the other guy's name. And same thing kind of happened. Like, they were asking me, like, are you going to vote for, now that Bernie's out, are you going to vote for Hillary? And I was like, no, she's the queen of darkness. She's the secret. She's in here like, oh, Jesus, this guy, Tim Black, what's wrong with this guy? He know we live, It's like, hey, man, don't ask me questions you don't want answers to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. And then they're still beating that horse, man, about how, they're still tweeting about, this is what you get. See, you should have voted for Hillary.
But they're so stupid. See, that's the thing. Like, when people say, "Are you happy?" No, it's like, I never said that Trump was going to be a good Democrat. Trump never was going to be a good Democrat. Nobody said that he was going to care about climate change. Nobody said that he was going to, stand with pro-choice protesters or whatever. The whole point was, I thought the Democrats keep surprising me. I thought that they would have some common sense to where they'd be so ashamed, Tim, that they cheated Bernie Sanders, that they lost to Trump, that there would be a complete transformation. But then instead, I get, did the revolution take place? I'm like, no, dumbass, that's on you. If you don't want the revolution, continue losing. So they don't get it. They think that they're trying to show us up, but they're the ones, because they see you and I, we're willing to go ahead and say, F you establishment, go ahead and lose. We'll wait until you come on our side.
Dude, we are who they wish they were. We are who they thought they would be when they were in their 20s.
Exactly.
We're doing it now.
Well said.
They, once upon a time, they believed in things. And they were like, you know what? I'm going to fight for it. And then the system wears you down. Come on, look, we're human beings. We know what's going on, guys. The system wears you down. If your friends betray you, the boss tells you this, that you get the word down on high that if you don't go this way, there goes your job. You see other people that you admire, you find out they're not exactly who you thought they were. They're on the take, or they're corrupted, or they're leveraged in some way, and you just close in. You say, you know what, I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. People say that every day. I got to do what I got to do. So, yeah, so we're your backbone. And I know some of you out there, deep in your sides, you wish you was H.A. Goodman and Tim Black, who would say, you know what, I'm willing not to have a big car. I'm willing to live modestly. I'm willing to go through all the bull. But you know what? I'm staying for something. And one day, maybe the system will, maybe things will, the paradigm was, what is it? The paradigm will shift. Paradigm, that's it. The paradigm will shift, and I'll be in the right place, but I'm staying in this place. I'm staying here, and if it shifts, it'll find me. But until then, it's business as usual, which is I kick your ass, I call you out, and you do nothing about it but complain. But I'm still right.
Exactly. Thank
you.
And that was beautifully said. I mean, also, Tim, it feels good to be us. We don't have to backtrack. We don't have to say, oh gosh, you know, it's only 3 agencies instead of 17. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you know, because books will be written about this time period, and future generations will laugh at Russia, like Russia influencing the election. And you know how they influenced our election, allegedly? By showing us how shady and dirty and underhanded and corrupt Hillary Clinton was.
Right.
I'm all for that influence.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, because you know what? We already knew that. We already knew. So the whole narrative is ridiculous. The whole narrative is absolutely ridiculous. They influenced us by telling us how horrible Hillary was, but we already knew that.
And it's working. I mean, it's working for them to a large degree, because you have people who just I never thought people were that gullible, man, but they really are, man. They like this. Really, at the end of the day, it's not about people getting into the voting booth. It's not about them padding the election findings, the totals. It's about a private organization known as the DNC allegedly being hacked and having their information exposed to what their conversations and actual strategy was.
Yep.
So that's even if you think H.A. and Tim Black are wrong, that is what this is all about. It's not about anybody cooking the books, man. And you're fighting for that. So we need to talk about that 24/7 and not talk about mass incarceration, fracking, other environmental issues. You don't need to address any of that shit. None of it.
Yes.
You know, organ harvesting. We got a whole bunch of stuff we could talk about. But no, we need to focus on Russia because this private organization got his feelings hurt. Allegedly. Because there's no proof of that yet.
Well, now it's kind of ridiculous. Now it's almost like when you take a step back, it's hilarious. So like Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer. What the?
I didn't know you couldn't do that.
You met with a Russian lawyer? And then it gets like, you know, like these people are so indignant, they're so full of themselves. They're like, they had the audacity to try to find Hillary's emails. Oh my God.
Right.
Meanwhile, H.A. Goodman's like, yeah, get those emails. You know, I don't care. What do I care? And then the poor guy kills himself. He wrote a note that says everything's fine. So everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
The GOP, everything's fine. He kills himself with helium in a thing, and everything's fine. Well, whatever. Then the Clinton Foundation Haiti official.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, speaking of the DNC fraud lawsuit, brother, let's give a big shout out to Elizabeth Beck and Jared Beck, man. These people are holding it down. Here we go. And HA and I were talking, man, and hopefully I can reach out to the Becks and see if we can work out something more weekly.
I told Jared Beck today, we DM'd, and I said, Tim wants you and Elizabeth Beck, and so I would love to, all of us do, me, you, and Jared and Elizabeth, because that you can't rely on assholes like the Young Turks, you know what I mean? No. You can't rely on and so, but no,
it's true. You can't,
I didn't, Tim, I didn't mean to call the Young Turks a bunch of assholes.
That's okay.
But no, totally you fine. Can't. but Jared and Elizabeth Beck, I would love to see them on your show, and I would love to, be part of a discussion with you and them. And I think that, you gotta fix corruption. You can't blame Russia. If anything, they should have thanked Russia for exposing the corruption.
We need the corruption exposed, man.
Yeah, we need corruption exposed.
If we had a media that wasn't brought and paid for, man, by the corporations, Americans would be educated to what's going on, and then we would, we'd be good. I mean, I think people truly do want what's best for the country, what's best for them, which is what I think is best for the country. Right now, what's best for the country is for you to stay ignorant, right? Really, I mean, that's what they're banking on. That's what the whole algorithm adjustment on YouTube's about, shutting everybody up. Don't want anybody, to actually have a voice that does not speaking, corporate shillness, which is a new language, a new dialect.
Well, but you do it like Frank Sinatra your way. You have 100,000 subscribers. You do it your way, and can you imagine Tim Black saying Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer, and like every segment like that, you would have, you're going to have 1 million for sure by 2020, or like around, like it's going to approach that. Okay, that's for sure. But you're going to do it your way. But right now, it's lucrative. It is, and I've seen people that have sold their soul to. This ticket ain't going nowhere. This is not a horse you want to bet on. This is like, let's put it this way. Hillary Clinton had a better chance of winning than Russia hacking the DNC. And both were losing propositions. So, I just the good thing is I'm actually taking it upon myself, Tim, to needle and poke every chance I get at, whenever I hear stuff, Kamala Harris 2020, I'm like, she's going to lose. She's going to lose. She's going to lose in 2020. And it's not because I dislike Kamala Harris. It's because Kamala Harris is going to adopt most of Hillary Clinton's positions. Those are not winning positions. Right. Those are not, and they don't get it. People don't get it. People don't get that we need an anti-establishment candidate. Trump is pseudo anti-establishment. He is the establishment, but he gives an FU to people on Twitter. And that's all they care about. And his Twitter, the way he writes it is genius. It's just, and check it out.
Genius, HA.
He tweets more about Clinton emails than I do.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Good, yeah. I'm like, he's number one on Clinton emails. I'm number two in terms of tweeting about it. And when I say genius, I mean like this. He pisses off the media. He rallies his base.
Check.
He gets 36,000 retweets on crazy Bernie got cheated by Hillary colluding with the DNC. Wrong, unfair, not right. Exclamation point, exclamation point. And so then you got people you and me well, that DNC lawsuit, they totally cheated us. And then it's this kind of mind thing that he does because he's poking at all these open wounds.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of open wounds, and the Democrats are saying, no, everything's fine.
Time to unite. We got to unite against Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's going to be worse, Tim, it's going to be worse, because the same people who are, I don't like Trump's policies. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Jill Stein. I don't have to, like, slit my wrist in like this sacrificial thing to like prove I don't like his policies. I already don't like his policies. I didn't vote for him. But I'm not going to vote for Kamala Harris or Cory Booker or Chuck Schumer simply because Trump is who he is. Right.
Right.
That's the same Democratic Party brought us Trump. They Pied Piper strategy. And I just think it's disgusting. As long as Democrats are not fair, as long as Democrats dislike WikiLeaks, I'm going to continue to hate Democrats or dislike Democrats.
Yeah, because that means they dislike truth.
They dislike truth. So
yeah. They want the spin. They want to control the narrative. They don't care if it's a lie, what it is, and they want to amplify that message, man. And they don't want to hear anything from anyone that's saying something contrary that might influence people to also want truth.
Yep.
So that's like, we're really shocking the system. People don't get it. We're really shocking the system. And anyone who's speaking truth to power, I mean, truly to an audience, is on a side of things that can be problematic if you have a career. We know that. Like, I got some great people, man, who I've talked to that are really great people that I would love to have on the show, man. It's just it's so dangerous, and I'm not talking about them, something physically happening. I'm just talking about to their ability to work. You understand? So I know to some people that's not important, but it's important to those people. His system's corrupt as hell, guys. It's just very corrupt.
Is it wrong for me, Tim, to want someone to fight for us?
Dude, I thought that's what they were supposed to do.
Don't you want someone to fight for you, to defend you? I don't want people to get, when people say, like, I just bring Cenk Uygur election night. He said, I'm going to go to war with the DNC. He's going to bed with the DNC. He's making love to the DNC. So, and they said the
Turn
Democrats
off the lights.
Yeah, we do that.
And light a candle. DNC.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
And so my thing is, okay, so you hate Trump. Okay, fine. People say to me, HA, why don't you talk about how horrible Trump is? Because I don't like his policies. And you know what? I warned everybody, so it's not my fucking problem. So I warned everybody. I said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It happened. Oh, now it's my fault. But why don't you have a Democratic Party that really fights Trump? None of this resistance bullshit. What is resistance? Have you ever gone into like a basketball game or football game and said, I'm going to resist you, man? I'm going to resist. I can't wait you're going to get so resisted. No one has been psychologically impacted or like intimidated if somebody says they're going to resist somebody. That's like resist. So what? It's not even going to stop me from beating you if you resist me in terms of a basketball game or whatever, or sporting event. I want that. If you don't like Trump, you should probably want a Democratic Party who can defeat Trump. And the same reasons he won are going to be the same reasons he will win again. People do think they still think he's for the average person. They still think he's for American companies. It doesn't matter if you can prove it wrong in the Washington Post, because those people don't read the Washington Post. The people who voted for Trump don't read the Washington Post.
Nor do they trust the Washington Post. They not only don't read it, they don't trust it. So even when they heard it was in the Washington Post, they get more suspect. They're like, can't trust that shit. I don't want to read it. And now that I know that was in there, I want the opposite.
They don't. And the thing is, like, conservatives don't think like liberals would think conservatives think. They don't. Conservatives have their own vantage point. And liberals and progressives can't possibly understand that vantage point. I've heard time and again lately, like I said before, like, people are saying these conservatives are going to be so upset when they lose their health care and they're going to hate Trump. No, they voted, like, they're not stupid. It's not that they have other interests. So they might have voted against their interests of health care, but if they have Second Amendment interests or whatever, like religion, or they just hate Democrats, you know, my channel is for everyone who dislikes Democrats. So you have progressives, liberals, and you have conservatives and independents. That's why when I said Bernie is going to run in 2020 and I want him to run, and I'll vote for him and I'll push for him, I got progressives coming in. The first people that came at me were progressive, but I shut my mouth. I didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. I didn't say anything. I said, you know, because I can understand why somebody's hurt, whatever Bernie's doing, but at the end of the day, he still went to bat for us. He still went to bat for us. He still defended us. I just want somebody to defend my interests. Because all I hear is Russia, 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 and they're doing it. You know what's interesting? They're still doing it and attacking us, you and I, at the same time. The same people who want unity are attacking us at the same time. They're like, slap, unity, slap,
yep,
unify, slap, slap. So
join us. You suck, but join us. We can't stand you. Join us. You're all the problem, but join us. Like,
it's the Joy Reid. Yeah.
It's the Joy Reid's book of
unity.
Antagonizing.
Unity.
It's like, what's going on, man? Am I trapped in an R. Kelly sex trafficking ring, or what's going on here? You know, what's going on? I thought you said you love me. Get in there and take your panties off. What's going on, man? I heard some crazy stuff about R. Kelly. It's like, these are adults, and also, okay, so look, guys, if you haven't heard about it, allegedly R. Kelly has a bunch of women that he puts in these houses, and then he like makes them do stuff like, you know, tells them what to wear, when they can go to the bathroom. It's like really crazy, you know, stupid stuff. And they're like, he's supposed to get them record deals, he hasn't. And I'm just saying, it's just. Basically, R. Kelly is doing what the Democratic Party has been doing to everyone else who joins the Democratic Party, which is controlling these people, making them do whatever they want because they want something. So if you're like, oh, I want to be on CNN. Okay, tap dance. Get your tap dance on. Okay, get your stripping on. Okay, now ask me if you can actually speak some truth to power. No, you can't, Chris Hayes. Shut up, Chris Hayes. You don't talk unless I tell you what to say. And these people, like, if you want this thing, if you want to be a part of the establishment, well, then you gotta do what Ray says do.
Well, I'll tell you what. For 2 years, I've been feeling like I've been asking R. Kelly for a record deal. because let me tell you, it has not been fun. And the worst, the conservatives are like the nicest people compared to the David Brocks and the left. The Joy Reid unity, you know, like what's the Dave Chappelle unity, like
unity, punch it in. He had the unity ring on, right? Like a 5-finger ring, HA.
Yeah, and so you know her version, you know Joy Reid's version of unity, telling Bernie voters on Twitter how stupid they are and how they caused Trump. And then she comes up with these dumb analogies like, it's like, well, let's think. It's like you're going to someone's apartment. And have you noticed, I swear to God, Tim, I'm so tired of the Democratic establishment analogies. I hear this from friends too. It's like going to a bar. It's like going to an apartment. How about it's like fucking losing $1.2 billion? How about that? No analogy needed. You lost $1.2 billion and you cheated Bernie. No analogy. No analogies. Just you did what you did.
1,100 seats in the last decade. How about that? We don't need an analogy. Just use the numbers. There you go. That's it. That's Nancy Pelosi losing. All right. So, she can't be a great winner if she's losing. Oh, she's a great leader. A great leader leading you to lose. And I call that out, and I'm a misogynist. Well, if she was a guy, you don't think I would say he's a loser? I'd say it quicker. Yeah. Schumer sucks too. You feel better now? Schumer, go to hell. You feel better now? Okay. Can we get back to like calling out the bullshit? That's my job. Your job is to tap dance for the establishment. Your job is to shine the ankles, the cankles of the whatever this is, whatever that. You do that, and H.A. Goodman and I will continue to speak truth to power, regardless to what it costs us, and we'll just see who the people respect in the end.
Yep.
That's it. We'll just see what happens. So, you keep playing your accordion.
And you know what? Yeah, and you know what? You're not gonna. You and I are not gonna blame China or Iran 2020 because you know what they're gonna do. I just can't wait till 2020 And I don't want Trump to win again, but you know what? If he wins again, I'm going to explain every day exactly what took place, because now you're not going to have Russia anymore, because that's already played out. Yeah. You cannot blame. Who are they going to blame? China, Iran?
Yeah. North Korea.
You know? North Korea.
Gotta blame North Korea, man.
Gotta blame North Korea, you know?
Gotta blame Jared Kushner or Ivanka. Maybe Melania. I don't know. It's got to be somebody Trump-related, you know, something like that. Not enough black people came out for Hillary, so it's, I don't know. Blame
more
the
black
blacks.
Voters. Yeah. Trump got a higher percentage of black and Latino voters than Romney.
Dude, I love this clip. Who did this clip? Was it the Rational National? I saw a clip. This guy, like Joy Reid, she was saying, well, why if Bernie's plan was so great, his politics was so great, why did Queist lose down in Montana? And he's like, well, Bernie does better with black folks, actually. Because she kept making it about race. It's like, well, Montana's pretty white. And if you look at the latest, what was it, Harvard poll? Is that a Harvard poll? But there's a poll out that came out like maybe a month ago to show the demographics for Bernie Sanders and why he was the most favorable candidate, most liked candidate. And it showed that like 73% of African Americans had a favorable view of Bernie Sanders. And white folks was only like 58. So, I mean, you know, just remember that talking point they kept using all through 2016 to try to tell you not to vote for Bernie. It's just hilarious what they do. It's not rooted in facts. You start pulling up numbers, it's like, oh my God, they've been lying.
Yep.
You know?
And they're going to continue to lose, and then they're going to continue to blame other people. And
if no one's there to call them out, it's going to keep working too. That's what's going to happen.
No one's going to talk about the election fraud or anything like that.
Cross-check, motherfucker. Cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, look up cross-check. Look up Greg Palast. Look up Lee Camp. Cross-check. Do that. Oh, also vote purging people off voter rolls.
But you know, that's just the way the game is played, Tim. So
it is, man. What you got going on this week, HA?
You know, got my YouTube channel. Got some great writing from. I'm gonna come out with some great articles. Caitlin Johnston is a fantastic writer. She writes all the time in Counterpropa, and it's a lot of cool stuff. Lot of very fun YouTube segments, and.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a great week, Tim.
All right, man. Well, look, guys, go to counterpropa.com. Go look up H.A. Goodman. Follow him on everything. You know what it is. H.A. Goodman Author on Twitter. H.A. Goodman on Facebook. And
Tim, I'm almost at 80,000 subs.
My brother. See?
Thank you.
Look, man, hard work, tenacity, and taking Russian money pays off.
And listen, it says so 79,645. And people say, "Oh, you have Trump supporters." I'm cool with everybody. You want to join? Trump, Bernie, Jill, Hillary Clinton supporters? Come on down.
You know what? I never understood that criticism, H.A. Aren't we supposed to talk to more than just the choir? Like, aren't we supposed to?
It's the identity politics. It's identity.
Oh, these people like you who I don't like. Well, why don't you like them? Like, what have they done to you?
Or do you have? I actually defended Caitlin Johnston from some moron guy who writes for Counterpunch, some idiot guy who said, "Oh, Caitlin Johnston wants to unite with Mike Cernovich, and he's a racist white dude." And I'm like, she made one sentence. The sentence, Tim, was, "If we see an anti-war stance from Cernovich or somebody, if we see, let's say they want to ban fracking, let's say they want to prevent mass surveillance, let's say they're against police brutality, because that's a small element of, most conservatives they're not, but it's a small element of conservative movement that, like, hey, you know what? We don't want the state to be too powerful." Okay. You can't go ahead and unite on that single issue where who are you going to wait for? Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris or Nancy Pelosi to help you out? So I don't get it. I swear to God, I don't get it.
We take our allies where our allies are. Period.
Yeah.
Period. This, like that. Look, when Cervonich or whatever, like he starts going on another issue, he goes the other way. Well, you go like, hey, I got nothing for you on that side. Like, oh, you think you're a flat earther? I don't believe that. You're on your own on that, but on this right here, we can work together on this, and that's like logic.
It's called logic. It's called logic. But you know what? This guy wrote. He's like, do you really want this racist dude in the trenches with you? Like, first of all, you're sending soldiers to the trenches. Literally, Democrats literally are sending soldiers to the trenches.
Right. So
what do I mean? And my channel is, my channel is purely like, if you don't like the Democratic Party, like 80% of it is, if you don't like the Democratic Party, I got something for you. There's a lot of conservatives who don't like the Democratic Party, but your channel is purely progressive, more progressive, obviously, than mine. But also, you take the Joy Reids and the Rachel Maddows and you explain how they hurt progressives. That's why sometimes you would have a conservative watching Tim Black.
Right.
Because the loyal Democrat that you have to always stick by, the loyal Democrat, they're not around. Like in life, you're going to meet people who are just don't worry about politics, or they're middle of the road, or they don't like what's going on. You're not always going to meet the person. It's very rarely you're going to meet the person who's like, Hillary Clinton is so honest. I love her honesty. She's a wonderful person.
Right.
You don't meet that person in life. That person doesn't exist in everyday life. So.
Nah, they don't exist, and thank God they don't.
Yeah.
I wish
they exist on Twitter.
They exist on Twitter, and a lot of them are paid to be so. Man, look, guys, thank you so much, H.J. Goodman, for making this another great sellouts. Thursday, I have my friend Tim Canova will be on the show.
Nice.
Shout out to Pete Hedger for helping line that up. And on Friday, we got the one and only Ron Placone from Jimmy Dore Comedy Show. Folks,
when's Nina Turner coming on again?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna reach out and try to put something together, man. She's got her own Real News Network, the Tina Turner Show. I'm sorry, the Nina Turner Show over there. She's killing it. But I'll see what I can do, man. Yeah.
Well, you have a great week, Tim, and thank you so much.
You too, man. Thank you for all you do, guys. Look, go to TimBlackTV.com, go to CounterProper.com, go to HAGoodman.com. Find us on social media. Until we meet again, guys, don't you let nobody take your cornbread, and stand tall, stand strong. We are the resistance, the real resistance, not that fake shit. Oh, H.A. left.
Tim Black. Tim Black.
This is crazy. All right, guys.